less than 6 meters. I didn't know it had a 2 meter option. I'm not clear on whether you're using that right now. Is that the case, VK2, FNUT, VK2FF?
No, listen, it's no big deal about Friday night. It is what it is, mate. I certainly don't take offence to any of it. Sometimes some of us are better at conversation than others. I'm certainly not a great conversation starter, so I kind of sat at the back. The gentleman I was speaking to was telling me about his 100 milliwatt effort, talking to another ham in Japan, which I found was quite interesting. No, the 7600 I haven't collected yet. I'm actually, a few weeks ago I picked up a little ICOM 880H, which is 2 meter 70 centimeter D-Star radio, and while I know I can't use the D-Star etc. yet, I don't like buying things for today. I'd rather buy something that's a little more than I need, and the 7600 came along. I'd initially set my sights on a Kenwood 480 sat radio, but then this came along, and while it was quite a bit more than I thought I could afford, the price that I got it for, I just couldn't say no, I'm afraid. VK2FNUT in the group.
Roger, well thanks for the clarification, and welcome to Club, and welcome to Amateur Radio, and hope you're enjoying it. So, as regards to Bob, I can hear Bob direct. I presume he's at his home in the Central Coast, and I can hear Bob direct full scale, which I'm really quite surprised at. Bob must have some incredible antennas up there, and I know that he was getting into the 70 centimeter machine here a couple of weeks ago when we ran the net on the 70 centimeter repeater. So, and also curiously, the repeater tonight appears to be behaving a bit strangely. I can hear Joe VK2EIR, Q5 full scale, full quieting, no problem at all. But I flip over to the repeater output, and there's hiss. So something is desensing the repeater for some strange reason. So something else we got to sort out. Anyway, back to you, Hill, VK2 Hotel Zulu Portable, VK2FF.
Yeah, okay, Brian, thanks for that. Yeah, there's been a couple of hiccups this evening. The things I've noticed have been the sometimes the lack of a tail at the end of a couple of overs that I've had, which is a little strange. And that happened to you as well on your last over. There was no tail. So we'll keep an eye on it, and hopefully everything is okay with the repeater. Everything seems to be going wrong this evening because my video recording on Ustream has just crashed. So I lost everything. And of course I've come over from my IC7100, which was also recording the audio, onto my 847 when we had problems earlier on in the piece, and that's not recording the audio. So yeah, everything going wrong this evening, so I won't have a recording, I don't think, not of the whole time that we've been on. Anyway, the IRLP node is probably going to go down in a second or two. So what's that, 58, so a minute and a half. So probably don't want to put it round to Bob while it's doing that, and I'll just break while I do that, and maybe ramble on for another minute. How can I? Oh, that Glenn, that gentleman, I reckon, would have been Alf VK2YAC. He's been playing around with Whisper on 10 meters, and he was probably talking to you about his Whisper exploits on 10 meters. I think he had some spots from JA, from Japan, and across Australia into VK6, I think, just with his 100 milliwatts. So I reckon that would have been Alf VK2YAC that would have been chatting to you, so that's good. And yeah, I know Brian was busy bee in the back room, I assume, Brian, doing the aligning your radio. Yes, a few things going on, I think, at the club. Anyway, the IRLP node will probably just go out, so we'll just take a break for a few seconds.
Reflector 9501, link clear.
DTMS commands enabled.
Perfect timing. It looks like my clock on my PC is still running to time. Let's see if we can hear Bob. Bob, can you hear us? Hello, VK2AOR, VK2HZ Portable. Can you hear him on the input, Brian?
Yes, sure can.
Can you let us know when he's done?
Hey Bob, I've got you full scale on the input. Do you have CTCSS enabled?
Geez, you must have something pointing at him, Brian.
Yeah, Bob, got you full scale on the input, no output on the repeater. Check CTCSS if you can. VK2AA standing by.
Yeah, that's unfortunate that we can't hear you through the repeater, Bob. But yeah, I bet he was coming in okay before, and certainly yesterday as well when I had a chat with him. So I'm assuming that the radio is set up correctly. It just tended to just drop out all of a sudden. It did the same when we were having a QSO yesterday evening on the repeater. Just dropped out, so I'm not sure if it's the repeater or at Bob's end. Very strange. And by the comment, Phil, I'm assuming that you can't hear him on the input. You'll have to get that that tower up and running, I think, Phil. Round to Cliff, VK2NP, VK2HZ Portable. Acknowledge CAB. Good evening, Robin. Round to you, Cliff.
Yeah, thanks, Phil. VK2HZ Ball, VK2NP. Yeah, I know the Bob. He's come through really well before, and I can't hear him at all. So I couldn't hear him on the input anyway. But anyway, he was saying how quiet 80 metres was last night. It wasn't at my place. I turned it on and turned it off again. I heard shocking noise. So obviously it wasn't, it was probably local noise. So anyway, I heard a couple of signals, but it was just unworkable, so I didn't bother. Anyway, and other than that, I haven't been doing a great lot. Chased a couple of guys on Saturday today. A couple of summits down in South Australia and Victoria, national parks I should say as well. But yeah, other than that I haven't been doing too much. Yeah, bands have been in ordinary shape, as you know. And yeah, not much else I can think of. Good on the new radio there, Phil, I think it was. Sounds like a nice rig. Anyway, I've got some little tiny ants running around here. I don't know where they came from. I mean, they're absolutely minuscule to find out where they're coming from. VK2HZ Portable, VK2NP.
You must some nice snacks in the shack, I reckon, Cliff. They're probably after that, or yes, something to drink maybe. Yes, it's that time of the year, isn't it, when all the creatures come out and play, and try and find a new home. Yes, love this time of year. It's quite warm in the shack. It's quite close actually. It's humid in my little room at the moment, so it's certainly going to be time soon to put the air conditioning on in this room, that's for sure. And that was Glenn, VK2FNUT with the IC 7600. Round to Phil again, VK2VR, VK2HZ portable.
Yeah, VK2 VR Lawson. Look, Brian, I don't know how you could hear Bob on the input. I pressed the button and I couldn't hear diddly on the input, so maybe I've got the wrong antenna hooked up. I took the X510 not down but offline so that I could use this a 276 meter vertical. So I don't know whether that's just deaf up that direction, but boy oh boy, that's just completely strange. I normally get such tremendous signals in that direction, so we might have to have a look at that one. Might have to change back to the other one for 2 meters. Glenn, yeah, congratulations on the 7600 and on the 880. Obviously you're on the 880 now, and that's really good. I hope that's doing well for you. The 7600, I had one of those a little while ago. It was fantastic. A great transceiver, loved it, and it was only a little bit of twisting and pulling and shaking and selling that made me get rid of it to buy the 7700. So you'll find that an exceptional piece of equipment to play radio with. That is for sure. And if you got it at a good price,
I just heard crying outside my door, and there's a huge
you must have sold a few things off. That's for sure.
Butter chicken that she's
Boy,
either
because they're
eaten
not
and thrown up,
cheap, the
or
7600.
she carried
They're
it off the
great radio.
bench.
G'day,
She's gonna
Cliff.
go back and eat
Go Joe, if you
Can you
need to.
get rid of
Robin
it?
as well. Well, trying to
The
change
chicken
these
on the
DRM
kitchen.
signals, and I think I found the problem. Although this will decode, the program will decode the DRM signals. I know the standard for DRM is now 20 kilohertz wide, and the widest I can go is 12 with this SDR. So it's been great fun, and I have found a couple of stations that are definitely DRM, but I can see on the spectrum scope that
Can you get rid of
they
it on
are far
kitchen
wider than I
bench?
can look at. So a bit of a bummer there, but we'll try a little bit later.
It's in
I know
the plate
there's
on the left.
a couple of half signals going out, which is the 10 kilohertz signal, which will be really good. So I can see the damn thing's on the screen doing what it's meant to be doing. It's showing the right peaks and troughs. It's not just a double sideband AM or AM suppressed, non-suppressed carrier. Anyway, it's all over the place. There's multiple spurs coming out upper and lower. So I don't know why I can't decode it. It keeps trying to decode it, but it just won't. So anywho, yeah, I might have to at the end of this over race around and stick my head to the back of the transceiver and swap over for that to the X510 again, just to see if I can hear Bob, because that's completely strange. How well, we're so close, Brian. That's all I'm thinking. I didn't get around to sending you that file last night, the audio file from the 80 meter net, but I certainly will, Brian. I'll send that through to you. And it was really interesting to hear. Really interesting to go back on. And just finally, Glenn, wow, I wish you had made yourself. I was in such a flap by the time I got there, and got tackled at the door by the boys, and then sort of sat down and we went through the process of the meeting, or what was the meeting. and kind of missed out looking around the room. But if I'd have seen your face, if I'd have known you were there, I would have certainly grabbed you and wanted to see how the 880 is going for you. Anyway, around to you, Hillary. That Ubiquity should be here in a few days. BK2 HZ portable. BK2 the out.
Gee, that took a long time for that to come around. Or that was a mistake on their part, or they didn't have it in stock, or wow, that's been a long time coming, Phil. Okay, on the DRM, I have never done anything with DRM, so now you've told me all about that. I'm going to investigate and go and play with DRM. So if anyone wants to tell, I've got a little RTL dongle thingamabob that cost me $10, which seems to work reasonably well. And I think I usually use SDR Sharp, is it? With that dongle, and I seem to remember there was a plugin for DRM. So if anyone's got any advice on that, really appreciate that. Round to Joe, VK2EIR, VK2 HZ portable.
Yeah, VK2 Hotel Zulu portable of the group. This is VK2EIR. Yeah, I've come inside now and I'm on the TS2000X, and I probably should have a much better signal because I've got a dual band Yagi for 2 meters and 70 centimeters kind of pointing at you guys here from Castle Hill. So it's inevitable that the signal should be much better. So nothing much more to report. Surprised about the condition that Brian was experiencing from Bob. So I suppose sometimes it just works out that way, that it depends on location, like the real estate agents say. when you're in the right place from one transmission, from one transmitter to another, you just are able to pick up the signal while others can't. So yeah, I don't have much more to add, and I'll make this my final. Say thanks for having us in there, and Hill, and I'll catch you all another time. This is VK2EIR to VK2 Hotel Zulu and the amateur radio group from the Blue Mountains, and saying best 73s. Over to you. Over.
Yeah, okay, Joe. Thanks for coming up. And you were a pretty good signal from the driveway, and a lot better signal from the house. So good of you to come and join us, and hope you have fun. Yeah, okay. Round to Glenn, VK2 FNUT, VK2 HZ portable.
Yeah, man, I got lucky with the 7600. My friend is upgrading as well, and I know that the radio hasn't really had a lot of use, and he treats it like a baby. But man, I'm going to have to apologise for a minute. I've just got to do some stuff for work in our London office, so I'll sit on the side. But feel free to call me the next time round. VK2 FNUT in the group.
Yeah, okay, Glenn, not a problem. We'll call you in on the next one. Round to Robin, VK2 CAB, VK2 HZ portable.
HZ portable in the group VK2 CAB. Just got this old switch mode supply going. My first switch mode. The sounder resistor that was crook in it. Got it working. Now I've got to decouple it. So from RF. That's what's getting into it, and try and hush up the howling fan. So running a KG107 Sortron commercial rig with inbuilt subtone runs off the keypad at the front panel. So there's a new update version coming to me soon. I've got one radio in with a friend of mine that used to work with these, and just make a tiny little board, and then all I have to do is put the numbers on the keypad, and there's my subtone. So I don't know whether it'll do 2, 3 or 4 or 6, I don't know. That'd be interesting. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks, hopefully, I'll be on HF. So, and I found out too the toll road's getting hot because it's designed for 60 hertz. It's a power tech, Chinese. Well, 60 hertz is regular over there. So that's probably saturating it. Anyway, 28Z, A2CAB.
Yeah, okay, Robin. VK2CAB, VK2HZ portable. That's the rig's sounding good at the moment, Robin, with the switch mode PSU. No problems at all. Your excellent signal into the repeater, and audio's good, and no strange noises in the background. So you must be doing something right. So no, it's sounding very good. Okay, down to the bottom of the list again. Any further check-ins for the Blue Mountains Amateur Radio Club 2-meter net? VK2HZ portable listening.
VK2ALR trying again.
We've got you that time, Bob. Go ahead.
Yeah, Roger Hill, there's a fair bit of QSB on the signals up here, going up and down, and I think I've got a bit of descent here. I've got 2 radios running and one with the volume turned down. But this is the FT2900 working on a vertical antenna, and I've got another one in the backyard which does all the other bands, so I've got to run a cable through for that yet. Before I can try that, I was hoping to get that done for the night too, but didn't quite happen. So, but at least this one's up and running, and all good stuff. What was I going to say? There was something I was going to say, and now I've forgotten. But anyway, I'll try it again on the next round. VK2 Hotel Zulu portable, VK2 ALR. Stream 2 on the input.
Yeah, you're running a different radio, Bob, and antenna to what you were before? The signal was going down. Is he on the input, Brian?
Roger, I can hear him on the input full scale. Over.
Now?
I don't think he's transmitting at this moment. Bob, VK2AOR, VK2AF, do you copy? Over.
I'd say it's the path, Brian. VK2AF, VK2ALR.
Okay, Bob, I think we actually may have a problem with the repeater itself. It has desensed a couple of times tonight. You are full scale, you are S9 plus 40 on your Yaesu rig with the vertical antenna. I am using Diamond X200 vertical. It's mounted on my roof, not quite at roof peak level, but I'm on the edge of a very sharp ridge. The terrain falls off a couple of hundred meters to my front and to my back, so I've got a very good VHF position here. So I can hear you just fine direct, but the repeater just isn't hearing you, Bob, and I don't know why that is. So we may have something to look at. VK2 Hotel Zulu portable to pick it up, VK2AF.
Yeah, okay, thanks for that, Brian. Appreciate you listening to Bob on the input. I think that was Cliff that came in and said he could hear Bob. S2, S3 I think on the input that time, so I'm curious to know if Bob has changed radios and or antennas. Bob, can you tell us if you changed radios and antennas since the first time you called in? VK2 AOR, VK2 HZ portable.
Okay, VK2 Hotels in the portal, VK2 AAF relaying. Bob started off on the radio that he's using now, Yaesu FT2900, switched over to ICOM 9100, now he's back on the Yaesu 2900, and on a vertical antenna. He says he's had some QSB on the signal, but agrees that we probably have a receiver sense problem on the repeater. VK2 Hotel Zulu portable, VK2 AAF.
Thank you, Brian. Really appreciate that. I think you should run the 2 meter net as well, so that's 80 meters on Tuesday evenings and 2 meters on Wednesday evenings, if that's okay with you. Thank you for doing that. You certainly have a good location. Well, especially to Bob, that's for sure. But we know when Bob came up on the 70 SEMS repeater, there was some discrepancies between your location and the repeater's location, and you receiving it on him on I think it was on the 2 meter input, but not on the 70 SEMS input to the repeater, which is a little strange. So as Joe was saying, sometimes you only need to move a short distance and things can change remarkably. So you may not have a problem with your antennas, Phil. Yeah, so there you go. Okay, where were we? Where am I? Who am I? What am I doing? Bob came in, back to the top. That was to Brian. Brian, do you want another go?
No, I think I'm content to sit and listen for the time being, so you can hand it off to whomever is next on the list. VK2 Hotel Zulu portable, VK2 AAF.
Well, that would have been Bob, so you two have had a chat. We'll pass it back round to Cliff. Was that you, Cliff, breaking in? VK2NP, VK2 HZ portable.
Before, yeah, no, I was saying I could hear him about strength 2. But it was only for a short time then faded out on me, so could be a bit of ducting as well going on, so it may be conditioned to a degree as well, so don't rule it out, particularly this time of year. So quite a bit of ducting going on. Anyway, what was I going to talk about? Oh yeah, DRM. I think it was Phil was asking about DRM, or you were asking about DRM. I'm guessing you mean commercial DRM, like Radio New Zealand, Radio India, and Radio Australia used to have it. I don't think they have it anymore. There was a few around, not that many, and they're all about 12 kilohertz, thereabouts, and I've received most of them at some time or other. I received that in Radio New Zealand the other afternoon. It wasn't too bad. But not sure about the wide one, the 20 kilohertz. Not too sure. That might be a commercial thing, or even military. Not too sure what frequency that was. But you need either the program, like you said, you've got a plug-in for it. There's another program called Dream, which will decode it as well. Anyway, 1 2 cents worth on DRM. But when you get a good signal, it's got to be pretty strong. good signal to noise ratio to get a good decode on DRM on HF, and but when you do, it can be very, very good. And you also got text as well. You can see what some of the sort of highlights and various bits and pieces that run along in the text. Anyway, there you go, Phil. There's a rundown on basically what it is anyway. VK2 HZ Portable, VK2NP.
VK2 HZ Portable. Yeah, okay. Cliff, thank you for that. So we'll pass it over to Phil, and he can fill us in on what the 20 kilohertz signals are. VK2 VR, VK2 HZ Portable.
Oh, hang on. No, can't do that. Hang on a sec. Hang on a sec, Hillary. Just a problem here.
Okay, Phil, not a problem. It doesn't sound too good. What the screeching was. Joe's gone. Glenn is probably still there. VK2 FNUT, VK2 HZ Portable. No, he said he was just listening, so probably doing other important stuff in the shack. Round to Robin, VK2 COB, VK2 HZ Portable.
Right, VK2 COB in the group. That might have been a mouse descension the front end. Don't know. I heard the squeak as well. But anyway. Yeah. Anyway. That was funny, speaking of those rodents. Walked out the backyard, didn't see anything, and then walk around back the same way, and there's a damn rat on the ground. He was dead, of course. So that was disposed of a few inches under the ground. So, what are we getting? Rats everywhere. Yeah, that might be an interesting one, whether it's desensing or not on the front end. Unless there's some other commercial stuff nearby that'll do it. Other than that, don't think I've got much here, but all I can say is thanks for the net, and I might park the cab and send you the flagfall cost, and catch you on the next net. So, 2 HZ Portable, VK2 COB in the group.
Yeah, okay, Robin, not a problem. Okay, on the rodents, that's not good. Glad you got rid of it, and thanks for popping by into the net. Appreciate it. Good to hear you as always. So come back again, and thank you. Let's see if Phil's sorted these issues out. VK2 VR, VK2 HZ Portable.
Yeah, thanks, Phil. But yeah, problem. The X510, that's the reason why I took that off 2 meters, is because the reflected signal was a little bit too high. I was getting 3 SWR of 3. So I didn't think I should continue to transmit on that one. But the receive side of it, the reception capabilities of that antenna is just fantastic. So maybe that's an antenna I need to pull down and pull apart and just make some changes or amendments to it. This antenna is probably sitting just a little bit too close to a steel post to be really good. It's probably only 1.5 meters away from it, so it could be that's causing my dramas with respect not to the SWR but to the receive capabilities of it, because it's pretty ordinary actually. So there you go, that's why I had to run away. I missed a lot of what Cliff had to say about the DRM. 12 kilohertz width is normal, but they're saying that the new version of DRM, I don't know what it has on it, but it's actually much wider. Now I'm going through a list. I can direct input frequencies into this this program, which is called FIFI SDR, FIFI SDR, and it came with this little SDR device, which is only tiny, and I've had it. I've decoded it when I've got New Zealand radio coming in when they're transmitting DRM, no problem. Decode's great, but at other times it's pretty ordinary. So as you say, you've got to have big signals, but at the moment the bands that I've been listening around on are huge signals. So I just don't know. I have no idea. It's quite frustrating. AM signals are beautiful, and as I said, watching the 80 meter net the other night on that adapter rather than on the transceiver was really interesting, because there was a much greater accuracy of the signal, and you could actually see so much of what was being received on that antenna from the guys in the net, as well as other things up and down the band. So they're pretty cool. They're pretty amazing, the pan adapters, particularly these fully silicon controlled radios. They're really software-defined radios. They are really clever, and the display is just awesome, but very frustrating. So I'm looking through lists and going through all the frequencies. I'm still playing. I'm trying to find a DRM signal that I can pull down. I can recognise it on the scope when I see it, but it's one of those things. But thanks, Cliff. Maybe next time you're at the club, or if you're around, it'd be interesting to sit down with you and have a bit of a chat. Back to you, Hill. VK2 HZ portable, VK2VR.
Yeah, okay, Phil. I was going to ask you that. What frequencies? There must be some. I assume that they're not on 24 hours a day, are they? Maybe particular frequencies and times of the day that they transmit DRM. I don't know. I know nothing about it, but keen to learn a bit more about it from the people in the know. Okay, Glenn, are you listening, or have you gone, Glenn? VK2 FNUT, VK2 HZ portable. There was a carrier there. I'm going to sign Glenn out. He said he was listening, and Brian said he was listening. So maybe we'll go once more round. And oh geez, look at the time, 9:30. Once more round and call it a night. VK2 IIF, VK2 HZ portable.
VK2 HZ portable, VK2 IIF. Yeah, as I was saying to Wayne a little earlier tonight, I did find a line on some of these ICOM panel lamps. They're a little tiny, kind of like a grain of wheat, incandescent 12-volt lamp. Couldn't actually remember offhand a little while ago where I got them from, but I have since found the source on those. It's a seller on eBay. He's not in the U.S. He's actually in Hong Kong, or at least his product ships out of Hong Kong, and he's selling them for they're about $3.20 each Australian, with the exchange rate of today figured in, and with free postage. And Wayne was absolutely right when he said that a number of sources were demanding $30 postage, and I misquoted it. I thought I'd gotten these with $8 postage. That's actually something else that I ordered. I ordered a connector for my IC718 to make up a cable so that I can use it with my antenna connector, or with my antenna tuner, and that is coming from Florida, and it did cost me $8 to ship, but the connector was only $2.50, but it was anywhere in
who just broke in?
I think it's all just hello and go over to you.
Hi, Jan. I trust you well. A little bit broken into the repeater, but good to hear your voice. VK2 FEB mobile, I assume. VK2 HZ portable. Yeah, okay, Jan. Nice to hear you. Good of you to call in, and yeah, we're just about to go round for the last time, so and call it an evening. It's yeah, 25 to 10. The nets on 2 have gone for a fair while over the last couple of weeks, which is really good to see. Good to have everyone come out, and some the foundation licensees, which is really good to see. That pleases my heart. Where were we? Jan came in. Brian. Let's see if we can hear Bob. Let's hope that Brian hasn't gone and you can copy him on the input. VK2 AOR, VK2 HZ portable.
VK2 HZ portable, VK2 AOR. Good evening, Jan, VK2 FEB. Bit noisy into the repeater, Jan, but heard your call sign, and but not so. Excellent stuff. It's been 5 or 6 bars since before when when it was dropping out. We were down to about 2 bars on the received signal. So all good there, Hill. And yesterday before the CC net, I was talking to a fellow down in Shell Harbour, I think it is, yeah, Barrack Heights. He was not very high, but pretty much at sea level, and he was getting into the repeater here, and then we went to 144, 100, and had a contact about 3 S points, but quite clear noise, almost noise-free, I'll say, anyway. So that was interesting. There is a bit of ducting going on at the moment, so whether that's helping us or hindering us, I'm not sure. But anyway, thanks for running the net, Hill. I won't stick around too much longer. I have a bit more of a lesson, but better go and make Louise a cup of tea. VK2, Hotel Zulu portable, VK2 Alpha Oscar Romeo. Forward 3 to 4, that time on input.
Yeah, I think there is a bit of ducting helping or hindering, Bob. You're a pretty reasonable signal into the repeater that time. Signal did go up and down marginally, a little, a couple of times during that over, but yeah, really good. So yeah, quite possibly, as Cliff was saying, some conditions between you and the repeater at the moment, so a little bit hit and miss. You'll have to put a giant 2-meter antenna up, I think, Bob, vertically polarized. Maybe a 20 element 2-meter vertical would cure the problem. We'll have to wait and see. Good of you to come in. Great to hear you, Bob. Round to Cliff, VK2NP, VK2 HZ portable.
Yeah, Roger Hill. Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, Bob was forward 3 to 4 the whole over on the input last time, so yeah, conditions are definitely playing a part, because I couldn't hear him very much at all the previous over. So yeah. And you know, I was just running the what was it called, the X2000, I think it's 2670 vertical. Seems to do the job. So and it's only about 2 meters off the ground too. So net and interesting. And yeah, DRM's there's not more DRM stations to decode, and no, they're not on all the time, unfortunately. There is a schedule. You can either look it up on the net, just go to DRM schedules and you'll probably find it. Some of the programs actually have the schedules in them, and you just download the schedules from the program. So but there's only probably a handful of stations active around the world. So there is DRM, well, DRM is the amateurs use the digital voice. That's the type of DRM as well. Anyway, enough of that. Thanks for running it, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers to you, Bob. Hopefully you can still hear me. VK to portable VK to MP. 73.
The problem with your signal, Cliff?
Problem with my signal.
I think yours is fine. Yours is good signal.
I thought you said mine was a problem. I could hear you on the input last time around there, Bob. That's good.
Yeah, excellent, Cliff. Have to catch up with you one of these days.
Yeah, I might have to contact you. I think I've got your email address. We're heading up your direction probably in about a week's time.
Yeah, Roger. You can get me at vk2alr at wia.org.au. That'll go to my email, so if you want to email off, and I'll send you back my number.
Okay, I'll do that, Bob. Thanks for that.
Okay, back to you, Hill. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, okay, Bob. Not a problem. Thanks for that, Cliff, for the information on the DRM. I'll go do some searching and see what I can find out. Like to have done everything once. Talking radio here. So thank you for that, and yeah, you were a good signal that time, Bob. Lot stronger. So conditions coming up between yourself and the repeater by the sounds of things. I still can't hear you on the input, and I wouldn't expect to hear you on the input from down here. Round to Phil, VK2VR, VK2HZ Portable.
Yeah, thanks, Hill, and yeah, thanks, Cliff, again for another bit of a description. I actually just decoded some DRM 12.085.1 or 0.2 or somewhere around there. There's something really sketchy, but anyway, it comes up in the receive section of this program. It comes up in the bottom right hand corner, and it actually decoded to the point where it gave me the transmission details, and I haven't been able to crack it again. I don't know why. I just haven't been able to relock onto the signal. What I was looking at before, it gives you a green saying that your status is a DRM sync, and then there's 5 other small little boxes, and they come up with green, which is locked in, going, yellow, which is marginal, and then red, which is pretty ordinary. And what I'm finding is that it'll set up the decoder and say, hey, here we go, red, 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 then it'll start going yellow, yellow, full off. So that's at 12 megs at the moment. Here we go again, and it's changing colour, and then it just goes off. So looking around at more of that. Radio Australia's got a DRM transmission, and I'm pretty sure that's where I am at the moment. Having a look there, but we'll play a little bit harder without making a bit of a chance to do what I need to do, and that's probably getting into a long wire, a beverage type, or a long wire antenna, trying to run on the end of an MZ, too resonant. I want to also change the radio, tune the antenna in, and then change it back over to the SDR. So I might do that. Anyway. thanks for the net tonight, Hill. Again, sorry, Glenn, that I didn't recognise you in the room, otherwise I would have said good day. And by all means, just, I don't know, usually people stick their hand up and say who they are and what they're there for, but it wasn't one of the real meetings. That part of the evening didn't transpire. And Bob, I actually heard you on the input then. Thanks for keeping trying to punch into the repeater. It's great to hear your voice, and it's also really cool. If I get an opportunity to have a chat to you at some stage, I'll probably put up a 2-metre beam and swing that down your way, which will fix all of our problems. For me, anyway. Bye, Hill. Thanks, buddy. Catch you later. Have fun. Take it easy. BK2HZ portable. BK2VR.
BK2VR, BK2HZ portable. Yeah, okay, Phil. I'm just listening on, or trying to listen on 12.085. It's like 0.2. Whatever it is, it's very weak with me. A bit stronger on my, or strongest on my 40 meter antenna, or one of my 40 meter antennas, with an orientation of west-east rather than the north-south one. But very weak. But I'm not sure what the DRM. I'll have to do some further investigation. So thank you for that. That's been an eventful evening for me. I've learned some stuff, and I'm going to go and learn some more. I'll just break. So we'll close the net now. You were the last in the people still on, Phil. So thank you for coming up as usual, and to Cliff as well. Thank you, Cliff. Have a good week to everyone. BMARC.org is the website of the Blue Mountains Amateur Radio Club. Go along there, have a look at the details on the foundation exams, which happen every couple of months, and also the upgrade classes that happen every Wednesday at the moment, which I think are about to finish, done by Jan VK2FEB. Not sure if Jan is still listening. Good evening, Jan. Good to hear your voice. 732 everyone, and net closing at 9:48 local time. Taking on my own call sign, Victor Kilo 2 India Uniform Whiskey. Cheers to everyone. Thanks again. BK2IUW.